Hello, hello. I don't know if I have this right, y'all. And it looks like it's shaking for some strange reason. Let's see. And I can't see anyone. Hang on, y'all. I'm trying to figure this out. There we go. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know how to type. I'm so bad at this. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, thank you. Oh, I don't know if anyone is going to show up besides you and I, Miss Gina. And I don't, okay, I see the chat, but I can't respond. It looks like I can't respond via the chat. Not that I'd be good at responding via the chat. I don't know if I can turn it sideways. Oh, that looks a little bit better. Is the camera flickering? Looks like it's flickering for some strange reason. Let's see if I can turn it around. I'm gonna see if I can turn it around. There we go. Ha ha. Okay, let's see if I can get back to where I was. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Let's see. It says, we hear you, your response. So just respond verbally. Okay, great. Sounds good. Okay. Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to get started. It'll just be you and I. I don't know if this is on YouTube or not. I don't know. Is this actually showing on YouTube? Can you see it? Hello there, growing what I eat. Hello, hello. I'm so glad someone's joining me. Please speak to everybody in the chat. I'm just now trying to get started. I am not at all good at this. I don't generally do lives. It's been like 2 years since I've done a live because I don't feel comfortable talking because I talk too fast and I may stumble over my words. So you all are here and I want to thank you for showing up. I know I was late. Because I was late because I couldn't figure it out. Probably if there was anyone else that was going to show up, they probably like, oh, she's doing it again and she's not going to show up. So they probably decided not to show up. But I'm going to start the tour. I'm just sitting here on my porch while I was trying to figure all this out. For me, the camera appears to be flickering. So just keep an eye on the chat. That way I can see what's going on. If someone sees a distortion, let me know. You say no one can be worse at lives than you. Well, I will take your word for it because I'm pretty bad, I think. All right, so I've just been sitting here on my patio, just kind of enjoying the wind. You can hear my wind chimes going. Everything is a mess. I left it as is, so you all are going to see the garden as it is. I decided that I wasn't going to try to beautify anything because this is real life for me. Life has been lifing. And that's the reason why I decided not to do a pre-recorded video because work has been banana pants and I just couldn't manage it. So that's why my Wednesday video didn't go up because I just haven't made the time with all the craziness going on in the world and at work to make one. But I'm going to do my best to get back on schedule. The garden looks like it is wintertime for sure, for sure. Hey, G Mama Grows, how are you? Nice to see you. So I'm just going to walk you all through the garden so you all can see what it looks like. And I'm starting over here in my orchard area. And I do apologize if my camera skills are horrible. I don't have my tripod with me, so I'm holding my phone with my hand. This was my castor oil plant, or not castor oil, castor bean plant, and it has died because of the winter. We had our last hard winter freeze, and it finally just killed it. So I'll be cutting this back to the ground, or I might just take it out because since it's so big, I think it probably has a really nice root system. So I want to take it out. I need to harvest the last few of those seeds. I started an Etsy store about 2 weeks ago, so I have my seeds on my Etsy store, so I need to get those down. We had a really bad storm like 2 nights ago, and my fence fell in like 3 panels. So I was up putting this panel up and this panel over here up and a panel down there. I was whacking that in place, getting that back up temporarily because I didn't want it to fall into the orchard area. But this is my peach tree. It is alive. I have peaches and garlic in this particular pot. I took some clippings in the winter and they're alive. You can see they're green. So I'm excited about that. Oh, we're gonna get that out there. That is a seed pod from the castor bean. So let's put this over here. Well, I'm gonna hold on to it. The wind has been blowing down my gourd. I had the gourd in the castor bean plant. I put up my bee hotel and I was trying to make it pretty, but the wind just would not let me be great. I've been moving containers from different parts of the garden, trying to rearrange some things and give myself some more room. This is empty. All it has in here is garlic. I will be planting up a tree in here. It looks like garlic and callaloo because I took this from the back. And that callaloo, if you've ever grown callaloo, those seeds just drop and they get everywhere. So I'll have to clean up some stuff. This was my Barbados cherry. It said that it would take temperatures down to 32 degrees, and our last cold snap went, I want to say, to the high 20s, and I think it killed my Barbados cherry. So that was my fault. I did save seeds. I'm going to try to see if I can grow it from seed, but I don't know whether or not if I can. If not, I have killed another tree, so label me tree killer. I also have garlic in this pot as well. I have been trying to put some things in the ground, but unfortunately, and the wind has been blowing my papers everywhere, so excuse that cardboard box. I've been trying to put things in the ground. I planned on putting some stuff right here, my roselle, but in this subdivision, we are surrounded by farmers, and so there has been a rat infestation, and I have been dealing with rats for about a year. I now have 3 cats that come and visit my yard, so I think they've maybe taken care of the problem because I haven't seen any rats. I haven't seen any signs of any rats. And I think the cats are eating the rat bait because I've seen some cat poo and it's green like the rat bait. So I just don't know what's going on. This is my bay laurel tree. I just unwrapped it a couple of days ago. It's beginning to stand up. The plastic that I had over top touched it and it damaged some of the leaves. So I'll be taking those leaves off. But for the most part, this baby tree looks good. It has some new green leaves coming on the bottom. It's growing a new green leaf on the top. So it's looking pretty good. Yeah, double yikes. That's yeah, trust me, I've not been happy about it. I've been very despondent putting out rat bait towards the back of the garden, trying to keep those suckers at bay. This is also a pot that I pulled out from a different area. This has pomegranate. It has died and come back and died and come back. And as you can see, it has lots of brown on it. I hope y'all can see that. But it's also has green coming back. So I'm gonna call this Lazarus because that thing is coming back. It has garlic in it as well. This pot has garlic, and I'm not sure if that's a bean or a weed, but we're gonna let that grow and see what that is because I do underplant. I did. Oh, look at that! It's got a flower, so that's alive. I took clippings off of this tree and stuck them in this pot in the winter as well. And as you can probably see, I have green on those stems, and this bud appears to be waking up. So I'm hoping that that's alive. This is my methyl plum. It began to flower, I want to say about a week ago. I noticed it. And now every day I come out, it has even more flowers on it. So I'm hoping that I'll get a plum. It'll be my first time getting a plum from this one. So that's exciting. Over here, I did put some stuff in the ground like I promised. I said I did. I put a castor bean right there, and the tag was blown back over there. So I've got to get that. I put some ginger in the ground right there. And this one, I just put a pigeon pea, I want to say over the last weekend. So nothing's coming up there. This is one of my liquid fertilizer buckets. I have my cardboard that's back that way on top of it. And so I've got to go retrieve that. Um, and I need to water everything. So you all, please excuse me. Life is lifing. It's been crazy. Work has been banana pants. And some days I don't know if I'm coming or going. Um, This is my Romanesco broccoli, and I need to water so that it doesn't die. I didn't have anything in this because it died off. This was the early rapini broccoli. It's died off, so I need to repot, resow some seeds. And this, I believe, is my Paris Island lettuce and garlic, and I'm not sure if that's a weed or not, so I'm gonna let that grow until I chop it out. Hi, Miss T-Nog, how are you? And I do apologize, you all. I have not been watching as many of the YouTube creators that I've liked to watch because work has really been bananas. If you all are watching the news, you probably know what's going on in the world. And I have been a federal worker for 18 years, so it has been very crazy for us. And so I just don't have the bandwidth to really spend a lot of time on YouTube, but I told myself I would make this live today because you got to try, right? So this right here is my moringa tree. Of course, if you know anything about moringas, they do die back every fall and winter. And so I will need to cut this down, but it has the Paris Island reseeded in this pot, and I do have garlic. These pots over here don't have anything in them other than garlic. Well, let me take that back. Garlic is in this one. I will need to be sowing some seeds, garlic and chives. And this had Egyptian spinach, so I'll sow seeds for that. Um, this one had callaloo, and I don't know if you all can see, the callaloo drops everywhere, and it's got little callaloos all the way back there. It also has some in this pot, so I'm gonna have to come and take all these baby callaloos out of here. So I don't want them growing in here. But this is my olive tree, and it is putting on a lot of growth. It overwintered over here, so it is looking really good. As you can see, it's putting on lots of new growth on these tips. So I don't kill all the trees. This is common sorrel. I've had it in the garden for a couple of years. It has overwintered twice for me, and it is growing and coming back. This is my Chicago Hardy fig. I thought that it was ready to come out. I uncovered it, and then the tips began to turn a little lime greenish. But then I noticed that it began to put out leaves. So I think it's fine, but some of those tips, because it got cold again, began to turn a little lime green. I will be cutting this part off. I did do an air layer. I will unveil that at a later time, probably in the next couple of weeks, because it's time, but it is growing some babies in the center. So it's pushing out, it's alive. So I'm not going to worry about it. I do need to clean up over here in the back 40, because my neighbor has grass and all of his stuff grows up under and in my area. So I'll have to pull all that up here really soon. We're just now getting warmer weather here. Now I've been sowing seeds for this particular toilet, and I think this is a weed. So we're going to take that out. And I'm not quite sure. I think this one is a dianthus, but I've been sowing dianthus and a bunch of other stuff. So I'll be filling that back up with flowers because that's my flower pot. I bought new toilets, chair height toilets, so that myself and my mom don't have to fall on the floor when we use the toilet. Yes, a toilet planter. I bought my house 2 years ago, and I put chair height toilets in because my mom wanted a chair height toilet, and I bought chair height toilets and put them in. And so I didn't want to throw out brand new toilets. I said, well, let me just plant it up with something. So I've been putting flowers and things in there. Now in the back of the garden, the backside over here is, well, I had kales over here, but the kales have died back. So I'll be sowing seed for kales. All you see right now are garlic chives. Now, because we've had a lot of wind, the wind has been very aggressive here. It has blown all the greenhouse plastic in the back. I need to pick it up because it is laying on my pots back in here. I don't know if you all can see. I have brassicas and leeks back in the pot there, as well as the one right next to it. And you all won't be able to see those, but I'm hoping that they're not dead. So I'm going to have to pull this plastic off. We've got about another week before my last frost date is here. So, but the plants are already showing me that they're ready to go. I've noticed that when I looked at my asparagus has begun to grow. I uncovered it, and it was going, "Hey, girl, hey!" So that's exciting. What about the top double plant? Which top double plant? Which top double plant, G Mama? The double plant. I'm not sure. Let me know which one. Over this way. Oh, and this one, I laid a handful of garlic in here as I was planting garlic in this area. And I left one in here because it looked like it was dead. And the next thing I know, I got garlic growing up in that pot. So that's where it's going to stay because I was going to put some flowers in there. The toilet. I didn't plant the top of the toilet up because the toilet is functional. There's nothing, it has all this normal innards in it. That's why I didn't plant the top of it up. I did plant the center because I just felt like, why not? But everything inside that top is a functional toilet. I didn't take anything out. So if I did want to somehow use it someplace else, or maybe clean it out and give it to an organization, it would still be functional. So I left it. That's why. Over here, again, not, I used to have a tomato in this pot. I'm going to put some purple cayenne pepper in here. I'm trying to grow some purple cayenne pepper in the garage. This is just the garlic and the garlic chives. This is a cabbage that overwintered. I need to clean it up. It's alive, so that's a good thing. This one is empty other than the garlic chives. My I see Miss Tina says she needs to get back to her garden. She wants to stop by and show you. Oh, thank you so much. You have a wonderful night, ma'am. I completely understand. This is my elderberry. It is waking up. I don't know if you all can see that, but it's waking up. So that's exciting. If you are thinking about getting elderberry, just, for gee whiz, elderberry has the walking spirit, and elderberry will it'll walk away from where you put it. If you can see all the way, let me move this stick, get it out of the way. If you can see all that down in there, all that, that's elderberry that's just deciding it wants to pop up wherever it so chooses, because it has the walking spirit all the way back there as well. So just be mindful that it does like to move around. Thank you, Miss T Nog. You have a wonderful day. Back here, you all can't see it because I'm still trying to uncover and clean. I had a pigeon pea, and I believe it's died all the way down to the root. I'm not certain. I did replant one in the back. Let's see. I've got the plastic pinned down everywhere, so you all won't be able to see that. But that's the remnants of the pigeon pea. I'll be cutting that back soon. As I mentioned, my last frost date is this coming week. Over here, again, I've got to water everything. I've just taken this plastic off, And so I got to get back on doing what I need to do. But like I said, life has been lifing and it's been very crazy for me. I had a red Swiss chard in here. I need to replant that. It succumbed because I didn't do what I was supposed to do. But this garlic chive is just loving its life. It's just taking over. This Swiss chard, it needs love. It is going to go if I don't take care of it. But the center is alive, so I got to do better. I got to clean it up. Back there, I have a whole bunch of leeks, and I do believe I did put Jerusalem artichoke in there, so those should still be in there, maybe, fingers crossed. Over here, I had Okinawan spinach, but because of the winter, I think it died back. I covered everything up, as you all can see, but sometimes your efforts, no matter how intense they are, things happen. So I'm hoping that it'll grow back from the root, but I don't know. I did take clippings of it and put it in the garage greenhouse, but it didn't like that. And then I've got garlic and onions in here. This is an onion right here, and this is garlic right here. Now in this pot right here, I have had an ant condo. I took this plastic back and there were ants, just millions of them, billions of them, all on the ground. They were all in that pot, so I've got to be very careful. I think I got them, but I don't know. I'm allergic to red ants, and I've been bitten up by some of them on my arm, and it was an unpleasant experience. So I'm not trying to mess around. But in this container, I had longevity spinach. I'm hoping that is what's coming back because I did take clippings of the longevity spinach, and it's just kind of sort of liking this life and a little bit maybe not so much in the greenhouse in the garage, but I've got a little piece right here, a piece right here, and a piece right here, and that's all you need because longevity spinach will take all the way over. Now behind all of this, and I'll go a little bit slow, those are all huge pots just like this one that have flowers in it. Let me put this seed pod down over here and see if I can kind of sort of show y'all a little bit. Because, like I said, I just picked it up and just kind of moved it. I have cannas coming back in there. And in this one, right there, you can't see it, but I have a hibiscus, a chocolate hibiscus in there. And I think I have some, let's see. Oh no, that one actually is, oh, and it's waking up. That one is the Rosa Sharon. And if you can see, it's waking up. The hibiscus is actually in the pot next to it. And that's going to be a lot for me to do with one hand, but I'll try. Let's see. Oh, it's heavy. I have a hibiscus in there. It dies back every year. And I also have irises in there. And if you can see the picture of that hibiscus, it's kind of pinky. It's really pretty. And this is my youngest asparagus. That's how I know that the garden is ready for spring because this was all the way down to the soil. You couldn't see anything. I repotted this in the wintertime because the original pot was broken and it was just looking horrible. So I went ahead on and put it in here and it is just coming up. Next year, I'll be able to feed off of this one. But that's what that is. This one is my blackberry. It's alive. You can see it's green. It's beginning to wake up. I don't know if you all can see those little buds right there, right here. And now my hands are dirty, so my hands look rusty, so excuse me, y'all. But I will be trimming this back and cutting it up and espaliering it over here. I have some wire and T-posts back in here. This is my grape, and I hope it's alive. It hasn't woken up yet, so we'll see what's going on with the grape. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to be trimming it back. Oh, no, it's alive. Hello. Wait a minute. I can see right there. I don't know if you all can see that on my finger. It's waking up. It is wake. The buds are beginning to wake up. So I will trim this back and have it espaliered up on this T-post up there, the wire. Now, I had raspberries. I had two different varieties of raspberries. Let's try to move this a little bit. I'm sorry, y'all. I had two different types of raspberries in this pot, but for some reason, it feels like here in South Texas, raspberries don't like it here. And so I had the double gold and the crimson night. And right now, I only see one crimson night trying to come back. So there's that. Now, you all have seen my compost area. Hope I'm not going too fast. You all have seen my compost area many times. This is my compost area. This is how it looks all the time. Um, I try to keep my area as tidy, or my garden as tidy as I possibly can, because y'all know I got invaders. And so that's what this is over here. I also have the secondary toilet over in this corner, and it looks a whole lot better than the one over in the opposite end. It has dianthus and violas in it as well. I'm also going to put probably a Mexican sunflower in both of them so that I have something tall growing up for the spring and summer. Now over here, sorry if I'm going too fast. This is a temporary greenhouse that I brought with me from North Texas. I took everything out already, so it is empty. I won't be utilizing this, I don't believe, this spring and summer. I'll probably just wait until the winter time. Over on the opposite side of that, these are paper whites that have woken up, and I have a moringa tree. I'll have to trim it back, but the root is still alive, so it'll come back from the root. But that's what's in here, and I think these might be weeds because I didn't plant anything else. I'm gonna let it grow a little bit and see what's going on, and if it's a weed, I'm snatching it out. I used to have my wood pile right here, but I didn't like the wood pile over here. I always felt like there might be something up under it that might want to come out and get me, and I don't like that idea. So I moved the wood pile right over here on the other side of the greenhouse. Now, because life has been lifing, and there's just so much uncertainty, I have not worked on my fire pit, but as soon as things kind of level out a little bit, and it's not so chaotic, I'll do my best to start working on the fire pit, because I want to pave this in. So that's that. And before I get to the center, let's mosey on down this way. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Urban Gardening Chronicles. Hello, hello. How are you doing, Gardening Chronicles? Welcome to the live. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for me. Now back over here, this is my newly created cut flower garden. My fence when I first moved in used to be right here. It butted up against the house right here. And so I had them take this fence out and move the fence all the way back down that way. And I had a new gate created down that way. So I made this into a private side garden because I had an open garden area that I shared with my neighbor, and to give us privacy, and to give them some privacy because their master bedroom is right here. I felt this fence was a necessity. So it's a little messy right now. Like I mentioned, I've been uncovering things, just trying to take a look at what's going on. My citrus sat out all winter, and so I believe this variegated lemon, it got touched by the winter. The tops of it must have touched the covering, so it's looking pretty horrible. But for the most part, it looks pretty good. The tangerine is waking up. I don't know if you all can see those blossoms. It is beginning to blossom. This is an amethyst falls wisteria, and it is beginning to wake up. If you can see right there, that bud is beginning to wake up. So I'll be moving all these things around, getting the winter covering away, and it'll look a little bit less junky. But for right now, this is what it looks like. So, I mentioned that when I first started that I wanted y'all to see the real for real. This is the real for real. So here we are. This is Gary, if you all remember Gary. I bought Gary 3 years ago when my father died, and Gary has been through the ringer. I took Gary to North Texas with me, and he was doing fine. He was very young, very small, and I brought him down here to South Texas with me, and Gary died. It died all the way back down, and then Gary grew back from obviously the root. And so he has not given me any lemons, and I know lemons should be female plants, and I don't believe any of those were what am I trying to say, fertilized. And so it is still flowering, so I'm going to have to keep an eye and get some pollen and pollinate some of these. I really would love to have a lemon. I've never had a lemon off of this tree, so we'll see what happens. It succumbed to the cicada and all the other big old grasshoppers last year, and it just ate Gary down, so I've got to keep an eye on poor Gary. This is a Bills of Ireland that overwintered. I just stuck it in there and covered it up. This is an elephant ear. I picked up some soil from a soil place and I put some in there. I need to do some more work with it because it is just not the best. But I put some bulbs in there, some spring bulbs. So they're not up yet, but I'll be putting some perlite, something else in there to make that not so thick. But I don't know if you can tell right here, the elephant ear is alive and it's coming back. So this is I think it's a citrus. I don't know. I found this in the common sorrel pot. It grew from out of the compost apparently. And so I think it's either a lemon or a lime because I don't believe it's a soursop because the leaves look just like Gary's leaves. They have that same texture, that same shape. So that's got to be a lemon. I do apologize for going too fast. Hope I'm not missing anybody's comments. And for the most part, the cut flower garden is not ready to be shown. I don't have anything in many of the pots. I'm beginning to put bulbs and sow seeds. As you can see, the bulbs are coming up that I put out here. I believe those are daffodils. I've been putting bulbs, like I mentioned, over here. Bulbs are coming up. I'm noticing that my cannas are coming back and they're doing too much. So I'll be digging those out and probably putting them on my Etsy store because I have no more room nor need for a million cannas. So I'll be digging up probably about six or so of those, if not more. Because if they start encroaching onto the path or too close to the house of the foundation, they're going to have to come out. I've been propagating my rose bush, and this is one of the propagated pieces. It's alive, it's pushing out leaves, so that's there. I'm just creating my cut flower garden. And so, pretty much, that's it. It looks terrible. I don't have a lot more going on over here. My peony, I'm hoping it's not dead, but I really don't know. It looked dead to me. Nope, that limb looks alive. So hopefully that peony is just still asleep. Y'all probably can't even see it. It looks terrible. I think those are hollyhocks, the two big ones that I passed up. I have more cannas over here. Same thing. If they begin to encroach too far against the house or come too far in the path, I'll be taking those out. These are all the same cannas. They're yellow and I think orange. The comfrey is coming back. I'll have to clean that up. I put another rose over here and it's alive because it is pushing out leaves. And you all don't want to see my trash can, so we're not going to go over there. But I do also have an iris. If you all have any suggestions on getting my irises to bloom, let me know because my irises, they look like that all year long. They are not blooming. And oh, I've got a few hanging pots. They're not all full yet, but I will be taking some of the violas from other areas and filling in my hanging pots. And I have an issue with slime mold. And so, because everything is wet up under all of the wood chip, I get slime mold. So, if you all don't know what that is, Google that. It's not dangerous, but it is a mold that will come up when it has wet environment. I have this container that I brought from the house. It used to be a file cabinet, and I just painted it and turned it over. I've got spring bulbs coming up in here as well. My grasses have not woken up yet. I hope they're not dead. They were a red fountain grass. This is another moringa, a couple of moringa trees. They're not dead either. I'm just gonna cut them down and they'll grow back as soon as it warms up. And I will have to pot up a few plants. I think that's a weed. I'm gonna let that grow and see what it is. More fountain grass and of course hanging baskets. And I'm having to put down cardboard in my walking path because I'm getting grass. Because again, I don't have grass, but my neighbors do, and grass encroaches into my area. So I have to put down cardboard to kind of prevent some of that grass from coming through because the wood chip, even though it's very, very thick, it's not smothering all of the grass like I would like. And I do have some hostas and stuff down up under there, but I only see two that are coming back so far. That's a coral bell, and that's a hosta. And I don't see that one, so I hope it's not dead. We'll see. I have a huge toad that lives down there in the cut, so it might be down there because they hibernate. And of course, I have the pots over here with the violas. I'll be transplanting all these violas to my hanging plants, and I'll be reusing this probably for a tree. Same with that one. I've been using my wood. I had stored wood over here. This is all I have left from the fences. So I'll show you all in just a moment what I've been doing with that. If I can't think of anything else to do with this, I'm going to chop this up and put this in the municipal trash and get rid of it so that I can clear some things up. I was thinking of putting these pallet pieces down in the cut flower garden, but I don't know if it'll be a slipping hazard or if it will help to prevent this, the grass. I don't think it will. So that's why that pile is still sitting there. But I'm going to make a determination on that here in the coming weeks. And if I decide to just get rid of it, it's going out in the trash as well. And of course, you all saw slightly my fire pit area. This is a white devil's trumpet, and I'm probably going to put some moonflowers on here. I just put this trellis up here a couple days ago. Same here, the cold has killed off this particular viola, unfortunately. So I know I've been watering it, but I'll give it some water and see if it'll survive. Same down there, viola. I had a moonflower last year, so there's a possibility that a moonflower and some morning glories will grow back from there. I just repotted up this pot a couple of days ago. I had two pots of white clematises, a Mrs. Batesman and a Henry I, and I repotted it in here. My mom got me this pot from Costco. I didn't expect for it to be this huge, but it is massive. So I'm also going to try to put in some sweet peas like I have in the hanging basket in the memorial garden. This is a new development over here. I took several of the white pots that were sprawled around in different areas before I had my shed built, and over in the back, all the way back there where I've got all those round containers that I just showed you all, and I drug them over here. I've got carrots and parsnips and leeks and garlic chives. The Swiss chard, again, it got hit by the cold, so I'll be taking these leaves off and giving them to my worms in my worm bin. I planted some peas in this one, in that one, and the other one back there with the green tomato cage. And also, this is the same as this one, just a different color Swiss chard. It also has elephant garlic in here. So I've been putting a few things in these two huge whiskey barrel containers. This is the red and brown mustard. I also have some, I think these are wax beans that grew in here last year. So I'll be harvesting those beans and spreading them around so I can start my beans to growing in these containers down here like that. Um, Over here, I didn't show you all this one. I had some potatoes, and if anybody has any suggestion, I had some purple or blue Adirondack potatoes that I harvested from last year, and I tried to overwinter them. I kept them in the original bag that has the ventilation through the back, as well as I kept the bag open. And my potatoes, they look like they died to me, but I put them in the pot. I don't think anything's going to grow in there as far as potatoes. So if you have any ideas of how to save your potatoes, please let me know. And so over here, before I move towards the back side, I took my fence panels and I made coverings for my winter plants. I hovered my plants through the center, hovered them over the plants, and just kept them covered up by the winter time. I mean, over the winter, and some stuff really was able to survive. I guess it was keeping the wind and some of the rain off, and they did pretty good. So I made those too. They're pretty heavy. I should have made them smaller, but it is what it is. I was trying to get rid of that wood. Now back this way, I collect water. I'm creating a new container right here. I've been collecting soil from pots that I've been picking up that I'm not going to use anywhere else in the garden besides over there. If I have small containers like those pots there, I have been taking that soil and putting it in here. I have to fill it up a little bit more, but I just realized because I've been reusing soil, I have a red or brown mustard growing in there. So I'll have to dig that out, put some soil, refresh it, and plant that up. We're all the way to the back. I've already showed you all what's over there. This is my black greenhouse. Now, I wish I had a bigger footprint because I'm able to keep my plants overwintered relatively well in this greenhouse. Everything else, it's a crapshoot, but in here it does pretty well. So I'm not going to tell you all what's all in here, but I've got amaryllises, cannas, uh, calla lily, not yeah, canna lily, elephant ears. I have herbs growing. I half made this little stand. I've got to water my onions. I've been growing those from seed. I've got herbs up there. I did have some sweet potatoes, but they didn't survive. But I have some in the house that are beginning to grow. Bananas and I don't even know what else is over there. That was an overwintered bitter melon. I have to trim that back. It's still alive. It looks terrible, but it's in there. It's climbing up the little shelving unit. The aloe vera back there was two plants, and now I don't even know how many pots of aloe vera I have. It's just growing and growing and growing. My mushrooms did not do well. I have to learn how to care for mushrooms. I think I overlove them. That's a problem that I have. I will overwater like crazy. I have three avocados. One is a Hass, and I don't know the name of the other one. It has a dark green, smooth skin and a really large pit. And I put the seeds in there, and those I've had for, I want to say, about 2 years or so. I also have some more Lazarus back there. If y'all remember what Lazarus is, I've got two pots of pomegranate. And that was nothing more than me eating a bunch of pomegranate, mom and I threw some seeds in a pot. And so I've got, I don't even know how many Lazarus in those pots, but I do have them. Y'all probably can't see them. Let me see if I can reach in there. They are right there. Those little bitty pieces right there. I've got two pots of those. I can't get in there because there's not enough room for me to walk, and I'm already on the injured person list. I have, unfortunately, tore both of my MCLs. I have, well, not tore, but I have a tear in both of them. So I'm recovering from that. This is the backside of the cattle panel. I tried really hard this year to get this cattle panel to love me, but it just wasn't happening. And so I put brand new greenhouse plastic up on the inside, and the wind was so vicious that it tore it, it ripped it. My peppers were alive, but now they appear to be dead. I do have life in there. I've got horseradish, um, and that's all I can see that's alive right now on this side. I'm not gonna go in there. I know I have garlic chives in those pots that are in there. I don't want that thing scrubbing on my head, so we're gonna go back this way. I'll be putting herbs in the pots down here. That's why I didn't do anything with those. Same with this. I have pots that I'll be putting herbs in. Now over here is the same. I'm disappointed in my cattle panel experiment. I've tried for 2 years, but the wind is so vicious where I stay that this was a brand new piece of cattle panel, and you can, I mean, greenhouse plastic, and you can see just it's ripped to shred. Look at all this. It's just the wind has just tore it to shreds. So yeah, it's pretty horrible. I think my bananas are alive. I've tried to dig down to see if the root or the core was still hard, and it is. So I believe my bananas are alive. I just need to cut the tops down and see if they'll grow back. I have I've got 4 pots of bananas. I have lemongrass in here. I've got cannas in here, and again my peppers. I'm not overly concerned with my peppers. It does hurt my heart, but I'm not overly concerned because when the peppers are growing, if something happens to a pepper, it doesn't look right, or something's bitten off into it, or whatever the case is, I left it on the plant too long. I always put it in the soil so that it can grow another pepper for me. And I did notice before this last cold snap that the fish pepper had begun to grow a baby, and then the cold snap came in, and y'all see what happened because let me back up. This was actually all covered up and covered in. You couldn't see it, but as of last week, this is what I came out to look at, and it just tore my heart to pieces. So yeah, the Texas Star hibiscuses are fine. They are in the pots here. And here they die back every year. They'll pop up when they're ready. Over on this side over here, my pride and joy is my collard. These are collards I've had for several years. These are the new collards that I put in the garden in the fall. And I will be putting those onions that are in the greenhouse in here as well. I'll be planting those onions everywhere. Um, this is my tire garden. I like to do things that are near and dear to my heart. And my grandmother, one of my grandmothers, had a tire garden. Of course, her tires didn't look anything like mine. I was not trying to flip these things inside out. And so I just took them off. They took them off my car. I told them to load them in the back, and I took my reciprocating saw or something, one of them saws, and I cut the tops off and planted it up. And here we go. I've got planters. So this is in dedication to one of my grandmothers. And I have all types of flowers in here, from zinnias, what ethelweed, poppies. Um, I have irises. Again, the irises don't want to act right. They're multiplying. I know they're happy because they're multiplying, because I only put one in here, and they just won't give me flowers. And they're a different color. I want to say they're like a deep burgundy or red. They haven't flowered. This one, I can't think of the name of this plant. It's like a in the onion family. I put those bulbs in there. One of my nieces gave me this, and I don't know what it is, but it's so pretty. My daffodil is going over, but I did plant more daffodils all over. I fell in love with clematis, and so I've got about, I want to say, four varieties of clematis. This one is coming back. It is a, I want to say, it's a deep burgundy color. I want to say, what is it called? I don't even remember. I have a tag in here somewhere. Let's see. It is called Nubia, I think. Look it up. Yeah, it's called Nubia. It's a beautiful, deep burgundy color. And so it is waking up. That's what it looks like right there. And my pots of violas, again, still the winter. I have many on the other side. So if these are dead, I'm just going to get rid of them and take these pots out, and put something else over here. My Russian sage didn't die. It's actually coming back. It's coming up from the ground. So that's exciting to see. This one is beginning to bud out. I have some back there as well. All around this windmill, I put Russian sage, and this is Russian sage. It's coming back. I planted some seeds for the butterfly pea. This is where the butterfly pea was last year, so I'm hoping that it'll come up. Also, right there was butterfly pea, so I'm hoping it'll come up. In this pot as well, I put a lot of different flower seeds throughout the year. Because I love to see flowers, and I'm getting more uh, butterflies and hummingbirds and different different beautiful things in the garden. So I wanted to make sure that I had something for them to enjoy. And again, this iris, look at it. It is multiplying, but it has not bloomed for me. So if anybody have any ideas, let me know. Let me see if I'm missing anything in the chat, because y'all know I can't see. The way it grows. Hello, hello. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live. Happy to see you. Over here, I have another clematis and some more of those. I can't, my brain won't let me pull that name out, but this is that onion, um, beautiful bulb, spring bulb, and daffodils. And of course, another clematis. It is alive, it's waking up. And I can't think of the name of this one. I know it has a tag in here somewhere, but I don't see it. Oh, here we go. This is also a deep purpley looking color. Niobe, I think is how you say that. Beautiful. I love clematis. So we are back over here in the orchard area. I still have to talk to you guys about what's on the patio, but we're going to go back over here. Now, please don't judge my life. Like I said, work has been crazy, life has been crazy, and I have not spent very much time out here. And so this was my dog run, and my last baby girl passed away last January, so I haven't done very much of anything over here. I've got to come over here and dig out all of these weeds and turn them into fertilizer. I'll be doing that here soon, because it did rain a couple days ago, so this ground is soft, and it's a great time to dig out weeds when the ground is soft. I don't know where that piece of garbage came from, but I got to get that up. I put cannas over here, and these cannas are a peach color. This was my paternal grandmother's favorite color, and this is my memorial garden over here. And so I have cannas coming back. The cold had turned some of them brown, like they had killed them, but it's coming up. So cannas are coming up over here. Um, I have a mum. I don't like the color of it, but I put it over here because, I had it, so I put it in the ground. Another canna is coming up. And again, I have irises over here. Can't remember the color of that one, but again, it's multiplying and not flowering. Now, I also have a rose that I cut from a rose bush over that way. And I have been trying to propagate my rose, and it is doing well because it didn't have any leaves and it is now leafing out. So I am going to have to gently move it forward so that it doesn't grow up towards the house because that would be bad. I had to clean the weeds up out of the garden bed. I have two liquid fertilizer buckets, and my daddy's boots are over there. Uh, this was or is the rose that I dug out of the front garden last spring, early spring, because it was the wrong color. When I bought it, they said it was white. It is a peachy color, and that's not the color I want up near the front of the house. So I put it over here, and again, it's my grandmother's favorite color. So one of my grandmothers. So I put it over here in the memorial garden. It is waking up nicely. It is beginning to put on new leaves. So it is very happy. It transplanted very well. I do have some weeds I got to take out. That I believe is a weed. We're gonna get that cleaned up. I've got some cleanup to do, so y'all excuse me. This is the mum that I took that piece from over there. I need to clean it up. And I've got some flowers that I just threw some seeds. I think I got those seeds from, I think, the Dollar Tree, and I just threw some flower seeds down there. I think those might be snapdragons. They have a beautiful color. So they're in the garden. And over here, I have another canna. So I'll be cleaning all of this up here very soon. It's just now beginning, like I said, to warm up. And now I'll be able to get out in the garden and I'll clean up all of this mess. That was my dog's ramp because she was a big old girl. She was lazy. She didn't like getting in the back of my truck. So she had a ramp. So that's where her ramp lives right now. I've been putting up hanging baskets. I did put some sweet peas in here. They haven't started germinating yet. But that is almost all of my garden. And I already told you all I had to put up this fence panel right here. You can tell it broke. It split because it fell and that piece broke off, this piece right here. So it's still up there, y'all. Heavens to Betsy. I've been putting comfrey in the ground. I've got about 7 comfrey plants spread out throughout the ground. So that's a good thing. Been using that as fertilizer. Now on the patio, I have some more violas. And in this pot, there's also a what is that called? See, I knew it the other day when I thought I was doing a live and I was just up here talking and was no one here but me. Um, I can't think of the name of it right now, but it'll come to me and I'll probably let y'all know. But it's a beautiful little flower. Nigella. There we go. I have some Nigella in here as well. So it was also in the center, but the cold killed it back. So I'm happy to see that. Over here is looks worse for the wear because it was cold, but this is a bachelor button. A beautiful burgundy looking bachelor button. And my crocus are coming up. You all can't see it right now. It's closed, but I have burnt orange colored crocuses. And what is mimicked over here, all of this is mimicked from the other pot. And this is a bulb. I'm not sure what it is. I know my niece gave me some stuff. So I put those bulbs in here. So I'm not sure what else is going to pop up. We'll all be surprised together. Over here was lemongrass. It looks terrible, but I can see that it is trying to wake up. So I'm not worried about the lemongrass inside of the cattle panel. I've got 2 pots in there and these 2 out here because these 2 are coming alive and I did nothing to try to cover these up. Not absolutely nothing. So as you can see, it's waking up. So I'm hoping the ones in the cattle panel will do the same. These pots are empty. I believe that's a weed. I believe this is catnip because it does have the look of a mint family, and the tag says catnip. So let's fingers crossed and hope that's what that is. That was my homemade fish fertilizer. I didn't have much of it. I had about maybe a third of it left, and I had some bone broth because my coworker gave me some bones. I made some bone broth and I poured all that in there. I'm gonna feed that to the garden because my bananas love to eat. If you all didn't know that bananas like to eat, they do. I actually feed my bananas real food. Um, I've been creating more containers. I went to my favorite barbecue place and I picked up some containers. I need to clean these up. I've already drilled holes in some of them. I have to clean these up and drill holes in those and get them ready for going out in the garden. The raised flower bed over here, I need to clean this pot out. Everything in the garden that I've shown you, I have already fed everything with a granular feed. I need to go back and give everything a liquid feed. I have to do both of those things with this one as well as this one. This one has also had a granular feed. And as you can see, this is a, what is this called? This is called a clary sage. This is the clary sage. And I didn't cover this up at all. And look at it. It's just standing up, waving, saying hello. It went through the winter just fine. I didn't do anything to it. Didn't bother to cover it up. I don't know if it's because it was up against the house or because it was blocked by the pot here. But yeah, this right here, it's a champ. So I'm excited about it. I will need to harvest it and continue to harvest it and dry it because I'm trying to grow more herbs this year. I'm not quite sure what this is. This leaf feels a little furry. I do not believe that this is ashwagandha, even though that's what the tag says. I'm gonna let it grow a little while longer, see what it is, and if it looks like something, I will keep it. If not, it's going to be snatched out. Now these I I just bought these last year, and what I'm learning is I need to put plants in here. If I put seeds in these containers, these pockets, they don't do well for me because I don't always have an opportunity to get in the garden every day. And when you are starting your containers, your green stalks, if you're going to use a seed, you will need to moisten this soil every day. I also need to put more soil in. I have been putting soil in, but I need more. As you can see, it's dropped down pretty low. But if I put a seed in here, it's Rap City for me. It's not going to grow because it will dry out and it will dry out fast. And what you see, these were baby onions that I put in here last year. They're just now looking like they want to live. They're beginning to put on some growth. They're beginning to look strong. And so I've got onions. So in these two green stalks, I want to have herbs as well as maybe flowers, maybe some lettuce. I don't want to give any real estate to lettuce outside of this area because lettuce has shallow roots and I don't need to use like a container like this for lettuce 'cause I could use that for a pepper or who knows, cauliflower and anything. And so I'll be using my green stalks for that. And I do apologize for all the paper you all are seeing. The wind is rude. The wind has been blowing my green stalk lid off the top for some strange reason. I'm afraid it's going to take it and throw it into the neighbor's yard. And then I really will be mad because these are not cheap. So yeah, I have been working in the garden, trying to create new growing spaces like the one I showed you over there, cleaning up areas, getting containers that I don't really need to have in the garden cleared out and put away or thrown away. I'm trying to take out as many of the store-bought nursery pots as I can because I have a lot of containers, but I want to make sure that it's not just a lot of excess stuff that looks junky, if you know what I mean. So that, everybody, let's go back over here and so I can see. Let me see if I can turn this around and see. I do apologize for sniffling. It is windy and I'm trying to see if I can find the camera. It is windy and it is a little bit chilly to me. Let's see, camera. Camera. Let's see. Front camera. There we go. Oh my goodness. So here we are. Let's see if I can do this. So hello, hello, hello. It is I, Clausen World, and I am. I think. Oh no, you know what? There's one thing I'm looking at that I did not show you guys. Let's go over there. Hang on one second. Let's walk over there. Let me turn the camera around one more time. All right. Okay, so I'm over here in front of my shed, and I still need to move my cattle panel so I can give myself more walking space. But this container used to have turnips in it, so I'll be putting turnips and rutabagas in here again. And I'm not sure what else I'm putting in here. Probably onions. This is a garlic. You can tell because the leaf is flat and not round like an onion. And over here, this is an overwintered celery. I do have some celery babies in the garage, so I'll be bringing them out here. And I also have an onion. Nope, that looks like a garlic as well. Looks like there's a garlic in here because that's flat. I need to clean this up yet again. But that's what's going on over on this side of the garden. And of course, I've got some small pots that I'll be putting herbs in. And you all can see the inside the cattle panel is just sad. It just hurts my heart to look. And I was going to work on a project with those wine bottles. I did not drink all of those, y'all. So no worries. I don't have a problem. My sister gave me that. All right, let's go back over here. Let's change this around. Let's see if I can turn this camera around again. Excuse me, y'all. It is not a good evening for me to be outside. The wind makes my allergies act up. All right. So that is the garden. I hope you all liked my quick garden tour, and I hope you shared my live. I do apologize that I was on here 2 days in a row and unable to get it going. This the first time I created the live. You all couldn't hear me. My microphone died, so I had to retake that live. And so I deleted it. I didn't even bother to upload it. And the second one I did yesterday, I thought I was live and I was just walking around showing you all the same things I showed you today. And I was not live. I was sitting here talking to myself. So, and I got a phone call saying, "Hey, you having problems with your live?" Yeah, I was. I was. So hello to everyone in the chat. I'm looking at the chat. Hello, everybody. I hope I spoke to everyone. If you're in the chat, if you have not hit that thumbs up, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. Share the chat with your friends, any of your gardening buddies. That is my garden. That's both side gardens and the backyard. I do have a front garden that I'm also working on. I put in two I extended two flower beds, so I'm trying to take out as much grass as I can. But I really haven't been in the garden, and I really haven't had much time looking at you all's videos. So I do apologize that I have not been on there and leaving messages and supporting you all. And I thank you all for coming to support me. It's been so crazy that I don't know if I'm coming or going. I really don't. But I'm doing the best I can. So, and that's another reason why I didn't do a video. I'm behind on making videos. As you can see, the garden is waking up, and I'm trying to get some stuff done, but it's slow going. So I don't want to hold you guys. I've been here way too long as it is. If you all don't have any questions for me or any comments, I will let you all go. And I want to say thank you so very much for you all being with me in the garden today. It is greatly appreciated that you spend some time with me. I know it's early in the evening, and I'm sure probably someone else is having a live. I try not to encroach on anybody else's time blocks, but I just wanted to come on and show you the garden, show you that I am a real person, and this is what I'm dealing with here. So again, thank you everyone you're all wonderful, and I hope to see you. Oh, thank you so much. The way it grows. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you again for joining me. I'm going to sign out, and I hope to see you either in my kitchen. Almost, I'm done with my garage greenhouse. I'm going to be bringing those plants into the back black greenhouse soon, or I'll see you in my garden, hopefully real soon. Until then, everyone, do your best. Do your best to have a great night, a great day, great evening whenever you're watching this. I hope you are well. I hope you are safe. And I hope you have peace of mind that someone told you that they love you today and that you told someone that you love them. So be safe. Bye, everybody.